Jamie Dimon, the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan Chase, he recently released a brand new annual shareholder letter. In it, he talks about many of the risks that are facing America, its citizens, and investors within the U.S. borders. As part of this letter, we've got a number of things that we think are important to call out. The first is that shaping the next decade will essentially revolve around three things: a U.S. economy rebounding from the pandemic, high inflation that will usher in an era of rising rates, and Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the resulting humanitarian crisis that is now underway. If we take a look at Jamie in his own words, we've got four quotes that I think really say a lot about how he's thinking about the world today. The first quote is that they present completely different circumstances than what we've experienced in the past. Their confluence may dramatically increase the risks ahead. While it is possible and hopeful that all of these events will have peaceful resolutions, we should prepare for the potential negative outcomes, specifically talking about many of the conflicts. Then, speaking about Russia and Ukraine, he said that Russian aggression is having another dramatic and important result. It is coalescing the democratic Western world across Europe and NATO, countries to Australia, Japan, and Korea. The outcome of these two issues will transcend Russia and likely will affect geopolitics for decades, potentially leading to both a realignment of alliances and a restructuring of global trade. He then went on to say that the West comports itself, and whether the West can maintain its unity will likely determine the future global order and shape America and its allies' important relationship with China. Then Jamie discussed the Federal Reserve, in which he said the Federal Reserve and the government did the right thing when taking bold, dramatic actions following the misfortune unleashed by the pandemic. In hindsight, it worked, but also in hindsight, the medicine, fiscal spending and QE, was probably too much and lasted too long. And then lastly, he went on to talk about the Fed should do, and seems to have done, is to exempt themselves, give themselves ultimate flexibility from the pattern of raising rates by only 25 basis points and doing so on a regular schedule. And while they may announce how they intend to reduce the Fed balance sheet, they should be free to change this plan on a moment's notice in order to deal with actual events in the economy and the markets. A Fed that reacts strongly to data and events in real time will ultimately create more confidence. In any case, rates will need to go up substantially. Now, regardless of whether you agree or disagree, any time that the major leader of a bank in the United States puts out a shareholder letter, I run to read it. Why? It simply gives you insight into how they're thinking about the world, how they see markets developing, where they see risk and opportunity. JP Morgan is one of the largest banks in the world. Jamie Dimon is an incredibly intelligent individual who's got a lot of information. He talks to a lot of different people. When you have somebody like that putting their thoughts out there on the record, it's probably something that you want to go ahead, take the time to read. Now it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out in the coming years.
Hey you, did you like this video? Great, we make 5 of them a day and post them here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and see you next time.